welcome back to the Geek Man Cave. And today, guys, I've got my hands on the Disney Store exclusive deluxe figurine set for Avengers Endgame. So, guys, we're going to have a little look at the box art, unbox this bad boy, have a look at each individual figure, and then find out if this is worth £25 or not. Let's have a little look at the box art. So, we got the Avengers logo at the bottom here. Disney Store logo, deluxe figurine set. You can see we have the main 6 Avengers. We've got Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye. Then sitting on top of Hulk's shoulder is a miniature version of AntMan. Now, is this a little nod to the film? Are we going to see AntMan and Hulk teaming up? Possibly. And then at the back, guys, I don't know if you really can see, but we've got War Machine in his new suit here. We got Nebula at the back, and who looks the best figure out of this set, we have Thanos in his new armor with his new weapon and Infinity Gauntlet. The other thing I really like about this, just by looking at the front cover, is that normally when you get these figures, they come with those little tiny black bases. They don't look as good. I'll do a comparison later. But these come with cool, transparent hexagon Avenger bases, as you can see there, which look really, really cool. So, yeah, not a lot going on in the front. You've got the Avengers symbol at the back. If we turn across the side, we've got the Avengers logo. What's interesting here, guys, is we've got the kind of Avengers-looking logo, and the logo is the Endgame one, but it doesn't say Endgame. We've just got some choking hazard stuff on the back here. So, 35 euros or 25 British pounds we got here. And the only artwork we got, guys, is this one here of the official Avengers artwork. So, you can see we've got Rocket, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Nebula, War Machine, and Thor. Guys, without further ado, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to unbox this bad boy and then we'll look at each individual figure. Okay, guys, now we've unboxed it, let's have a closer look at each individual figure. So up first, guys, we have the invincible Iron Man, and he's rocking his Mark 85 armor here that we see in the trailer. And guys, very happy with this figure. Great paint job. You can see there's no bleeding into the other colors. The gloss finish, like they did on the Infinity War set, is beautiful. Great pose and likeness of Iron Man as well. Really a big fan of these bases. It's like the Toys to Life Disney Infinity kind of sets, and the A on the base kind of makes this feel really cool and reminds me of how Eagle Moss have their like symbols at the bases of their figures. Yeah, very, very happy with this figure, guys. Big fan of this suit. It's a lot bulkier than the Bleeding Edge armor. I love the nod to the original Iron Man comics, and it looks like the kind of Iron Man toys I had as a child that I used to play with. Yeah, so a big fan of this suit and a big fan of this figure. If we put him side by side with the Iron Man from the Bleeding Edge Infinity War set, you can see how bulkier this figure is. Same kind of gloss finish. I feel like they missed a trick with this one by not adding all the cool Bleeding Edge extras like the hand cannons and the wings. And like I said, I much prefer these. I think they look a lot classier than these. I think these look a bit cheap, especially the matte finish as well. But overall, really happy with this Iron Man suit, guys. Great start to this figure collection. And now, for a lot of my Eagle Moss fans, just to show you a size comparison of what these figures are like, here is Iron Man from issue 1, Eagle Moss, so you can kind of see what kind of scale these figures are at as well. So yeah, really happy with Iron Man, guys. So let's move on to Captain America. Now, Captain America's back in his traditional red, white, and blue suit as we saw in Civil War. I love the contrast and brightness of the white with the red and the blue here, and he's got his star back. Good, decent paint job. There's no bleeding into the skin here. It looks like Captain America. Nice little detailing here as well. Overall, a very decent figure. And again, if we compare him to scale with Iron Man, they go together really nicely. For me, I would have maybe preferred the shield to be on his arm. Captain America without his shield is like Thor without his hammer, or Hawkeye without his bow. I just feel this would have finished this figure off, made it look a lot smoother, a lot nicer, or maybe even on his back. We know Cap has his shield in Endgame, so I think it's a missed opportunity if he hasn't got his shield. So happy with Captain America. Let's move on to the Incredible Hulk. So yes, guys, Incredible Hulk, he's so big, he has to have 2 bases. Or is it because there's 2 Avengers? We'll get to that in a minute. So we can see his new suit that he wears, his stretchable suit. If you have a little closer look, you can see the texture of this kind of shows you it's that kind of stretched material. His face is a lot calmer, the angry Hulk we're used to. because what we've seen in a lot of concept art is that Banner seems to have a lot of control over Hulk in this film. For me personally, a theory, I think the bath technology that Tony introduced in Civil War may play a little bit of a part in it to help Hulk, Banner control Hulk. Yeah, so I kind of like the look they've gone for here, and we will have to talk about the elephant in the room. Well, not the elephant, the ant, because on the top of his shoulder, we have Scott Lang. Ant-Man sat on the top of his shoulder. Does this mean we're going to get a team-up of Ant-Man and Hulk in Endgame? Who knows? Good little detailing on Ant-Man as well. Very similar to the set we had from the Ant-Man and Wasp playset. Yeah, kind of like the fact that he sat on there. I think it looks kind of cool. He is a bit big, but I think if they made him any smaller, it would have been not a good paint job. I kind of like him that size. I think it works well. And then when you put him side by side with Captain America as well, they're kind of a good scale together as well. I think they fit well. Now, guys, next up is my least favorite figure from this set, and it is Thor. Now, I'm really disappointed with this figure because I love the style they've gone for. They've obviously gone for the scene in Infinity War where Thor is throwing Stormbreaker at Thanos once he's taken the Mind Stone just before the snap. And I do really like a few things about this figure. I love the fact they've added a cape this time because he didn't have a cape in the Infinity War playset toy. And it's great detail on the cape. I love the contrast they've done this time on some of the detailing on the suit. You can see they've got a gloss finished on his sleeves and the discs of his armor, and then a matte finish here. A good likeness of Chris Hemsworth as well, pretty decent. And Stormbreaker is in good skill with Thor. But for me, I don't know whether it's because I've ordered this set online, I didn't get to go in shop and see the detail, because I will say, with sets like this, it's probably better that you buy them in shop, because you can check the paint job, because some of the faces can sometimes, the paint job may not be as good, so you have to kind of pick the best one. I don't know whether I've got a defaulty Thor, but my Thor is very, very slanted. As you can see, he looks like he's going to fall over. It looks like he's had too many ales in Asgard. And he's just way too slanted, like he's going to fall over. And when you have him with the other set, he just looks like something's not right. Like he's broken or like he's bent. The other thing is as well, you can't really see this. Now, I know he's going to be shorter because he's bending. But in regards to scale, if we look at things like the heads and the arms, Captain America is much bigger than Thor. Like, much bigger. Like, if I compare him to another one of the figures, like Black Widow, their arms are pretty much the same size. And as we know, Thor is a big guy. So I think they've scaled him down because they wanted his cape to be so long. And it's just disappointing because if we look at him next to the Infinity War Thor, you can see he's a lot bigger, a lot bulkier. The detailing on him is better. Like if we look at like Stormbreaker side by side, you can see the difference in scale there. And the detailing on this Stormbreaker is much better than this one. I just feel they've let themselves down with this figure. The only thing I will say is in the Infinity War set, you do get Thanos with his complete gauntlet. And I think if you put these like this, that kind of looks pretty cool. But as soon as you put him straight on, he looks like he's fallen. But again, have a look in shop because it could be that I've got a faulty Thor. You may have a nice straight standing up Thor that's a bit more like that. But for me, I've got a bit of a Thor on the wonk. So a bit disappointed with Thor. But there we go. So up next, guys, we're going to have a look at Ronin. Well, he's not Ronin in this picture. He is Hawkeye. So here we have Hawkeye in his new costume. I love the gold with the matte and gloss finish again. The bow, the haircut, the lightness is pretty good as well. It looks a bit more Saturday morning cartoon than the actual character from the MCU. And we've got his quills here as well. I like all the detail on here. And he is the only character to be rocking one of the Endgame bracelets that were leaked last year in a lot of spoiler images that were leaked online. And we've seen this on a lot of the product art, on a lot more of the toys as well and figures. The Avengers are all wearing these bracelets, these hand bracelets. And again, like I said, they were leaked last year in some images online. They're all wearing these bracelets. For me, my guess is these are housing nanotech. Just like Iron Man's suit in Infinity War and Black Panther's suit, these devices let you tap onto them and they give the user the quantum realm suit. We've seen the Avengers all in quantum realm suits, and if they are jumping between time or dimensions and they're going to go into the quantum realm, it would make sense for them to quickly get out of their suit and into another suit quickly, so they need quickly access. So he's the only one that we can see with one of them. This is speculation because we haven't had anything confirmed, but that's what I'm going to put my money on now. So yeah, overall, Hawkeye's a decent character. I would have preferred maybe the Ronin we see from the trailer with his sword and his hood, but I can see they put the Avengers in their Avengers outfits fighting together, so I kind of get that set as well. So up next, guys, is the final member of the original 6, and it is Black Widow. Now, guys, I do really like this figure. I like the detailing, the matte and gloss finish, the battens as well, and the fact she's gone back to her red hair. I like the detailing on her wristbands as well. It's really good. But for me, I don't see that it looks like Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. It looks more like Black Widow you can imagine from, again, the Saturday morning cartoons, or like Avengers on Cartoon Network or something. I don't know. It's hard to see because from what we see from the trailers and the images, they go through such a change over time, especially Black Widow with her different haircuts, different hairstyles. But for me, it doesn't look exactly like her. If we put her side by side with her Infinity War figure, I think this one looks a lot more like Natasha Romanoff in the face, and a bit more realistic, like they've tried to make a realistic version. With this one, again, seems like it's come straight from the cartoon or from the comics. But I'd have to see more of Endgame to say. But overall, I do really like this character. I think it scales very nicely with the rest of the set, but I think these two, they do look like they've jumped from the cartoon rather than the movie. So with the original 6 now done, guys, let's move on to one of the remaining members of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that is Nebula. As we know, she's stuck with Tony in space at the beginning of Endgame. So let's have a little look. She's still in her Ravager clothes. You can see a nice detail in here on the face, with her cybernetics here as well. We've got a robotic arm with the blue and the orange here. She's ready to go, ready to fight. And overall, yeah, a decent character. There's not a lot to say about this character, to be honest. Scale-wise, again, she looks on par. She looks a bit shorter than Captain America. It's hard to tell without many of the Guardians of the Galaxy left to kind of compare her size with, but overall, a pretty decent character. Now, the last hero of this set is War Machine. Now, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of the new War Machine, and I love the character development the War Machine's gone through in these films. Like, he started off as basically a clone of the Iron Man suit. Then in Iron Man 3, we had the Iron Patriot, was a much more friendly user, supposed to be, kind of suit. And now we've gone to this War Machine looks like he wants to kill Optimus Prime and lead the Decepticons into the New Age. It's a very dark, very evil-looking War Machine, and I really like the look of this. Good detail on the paint here. You can see he's got the military symbols here, and his code number here. The detailing on his extra cannons. I can't wait to see this suit in action. He just looks tougher, looks like a suit of someone who's lost and is ready to get some revenge, kind of thing. Very, very happy with this figure. Goes very nice with scale. The thing that I was a bit disappointed with, the fact that we had Hulk with AntMan on his shoulder as an extra figure, I think was a nice touch. And if this is in the movie, it's a nice nod to the movie. But there is something we've seen in the trailers with War Machine that I think is a missing thing that they really should have done with this set. And that's that epic scene we see in the trailer of Rocket on War Machine's shoulder holding his gun. I think if you were going to have a figure in this set to have a figure on the shoulder, it should have been Rocket on the shoulder of War Machine. I think that would have just made this look such an epic figure. But overall, really happy with War Machine. A great extra figure to add. So guys, that is our heroes. I've kept the best for last. For me, I absolutely love this figure. It looks superb. So up last, guys, is Thanos. Look at this figure. I love this figure. I hope, as a big Eaglemoss fan, that we get this as a special in the Eaglemoss collection. I just really like how powerful he looks in this figure. Beautiful colours here. We've got the gloss shine of the gold. We've got the contrasting purple and the lines in his skin, the scars. If we look up close, it's a pretty decent likeness of Thanos. I love the helmet. His new weapon looks really awesome, really brutal. And of course, the weapon that caused it all, the Infinity Gauntlet, complete with all the stones. Lovely detailing here on the gauntlet. So really happy. And if we cut him side by side with the Thanos, like I said, the last one, I just think this one looks so much more menacing. He just looks brilliant. I think maybe I do like the paint on this a bit better, the kind of copper colour, because it would have contrasted nice with his gold and maybe had this more of a coppery kind of colour. But overall, I love Thanos in his full armour. I think he looks superb. So there we have it, geeks. The Avengers Endgame Deluxe Figurine set from the Disney Store. £25, guys. I would say this is a bargain to get your hands on some of the new figures from Avengers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for weekly content on the Geek. This thing on. Hey there, geeks. If you're getting this message, it means we're in the endgame now. Been at the man cave several days. Food and water ran out yesterday. God, it feels 1,000 years ago. I built the Tesseract, uploaded it to YouTube, became the Geek Man Cave. I know I said no extra videos, but I really did want to just pull off one last surprise.